All right, let's get into it. Today's story is all about galactic politics, a really bad bet, and the unbelievable price you pay for underestimating a mother. It all kicks off with this one single line, a chilling realization that's about to reshape an entire galaxy. A line drawn in the sand, not with treaties or warships, but with one fundamental, catastrophic mistake.
Okay, so let's set the stage. That made an error in judgment so big it was fatal.
So, picture this. We're at Halo Station. This isn't just some space station. It is the largest structure ever built. It's this bustling hub for 40 different alien species, and it's where the Unified Council calls all the shots. This is the absolute heart of galactic power. Now, what's the central problem? It all boils down to one thing: fear. The Council, led by this insectoid High Overseer Carex, they look at how fast humanity is growing and they don't see progress. They see a threat. To them, human colonies are spreading like a wildfire they can't control, and they're convinced will dominate everything in a couple of generations. So what do? They issue what they call the containment mandate. From their point of view, it's just a necessary precaution. Stop new settlements, give us full inspection rights, total oversight. But for humanity's ambassador, Elias Ward, it looks completely different. This isn't containment. It's a cage. It's imprisonment. And this huge disconnect is what lights the fuse for the disaster to come. To try and force humanity's hand, the Council does something that just crosses every line imaginable. They abduct Ambassador Ward's two kids, Aiden and Mira, right out of the station's public areas. Suddenly, this isn't a political debate anymore. It's personal. And this quote, it tells you everything you need to know about their cold, calculated thinking. The ambassador is screaming, "You took my children," and High Overseer Carrick's response shows just how badly he's miscalculated. He doesn't see children, he sees a tool. In his own words, they're just leverage. So the Council thinks they've just made a brilliant political move. They think they hold all the cards. But they were so wrong. They weren't just dealing with an ambassador. They were dealing with a family. And that changes the entire game. Ambassador Ward is basically under house arrest, but he's got one last trick up his sleeve, a hidden emergency transmitter. He sends out this tiny message that's about to travel across half the galaxy in minutes. Just 6 words. But they're enough to start a war. So who's on the other end of that message? Not a diplomat, not some government committee. It's Commander Rhea Ward. And this, right here, is the Council's fatal blind spot. They saw the ambassador, sure, but they completely overlooked his wife, a soldier, and more importantly, a mother. While all the politicians back on Halo Station are expecting negotiations and backroom deals, Rhea Ward's response is immediate, and it is absolute. She literally puts her old combat uniform back on. The time for talking is over. And her logic here is just rock solid. She tells Earth's High Command, look, if we negotiate now, we're sending a message that every human family is a potential target. Her philosophy is ironclad, and it drives everything that happens next. You don't bargain with people who steal children, period. Let's break this down, because what she does next isn't just a simple military assault. Oh no, it is a precise, surgical master plan. A checkmate played out on a galactic chessboard. And the beauty of her plan is just how clean it is. 4 steps. First, the feint. A massive fleet of 200 warships shows up at the edge of the system. It's a huge distraction, right? It gets the entire Council military looking one way. While they're all staring at the big, shiny fleet, step 2 happens. A single stealth ship, with Rhea on board, slips right past them. Step 3, the real mission, she gets her kids back. And only then, only when they are safe, does she move on to step 4, the ultimatum. With her kids secure, Rhea hijacks the galactic broadcast system. She gives the Council 72 hours. And her closing line? Wow. It shows the complete power shift. This isn't a negotiation. She's telling them the fact she hasn't already destroyed them is the mercy. And the effect is immediate. The Council's authority wasn't built on loyalty. It was built on power and leverage. The second Rhea War proved they had no leverage over humanity. Their power just evaporated. Alliances broke, trade routes collapsed, their whole house of cards just fell apart. Rhea sends one last private message directly to Overseer Carex,
And this is the checkmate. The tables haven't just turned, they've been flipped over, set on fire, and thrown out the airlock. The choice is no longer about humanity's future, it's about whether Halo Station itself continues to exist.
So, what happens when the dust settles? The galactic map is changed forever. And it turns out, humanity's actions made waves way, way farther than anyone could have possibly imagined.
The old order is just swept away. The Unified Council? Gone. Overseer Karix is exiled by his own people. In its place, a new compact is formed, this time founded on actual equality. And humanity, after proving its resolve, becomes a founding member. Not through conquest, but through an incredible show of will.
But wait, the story isn't quite over. Because far away, in the silent dark between galaxies, something was watching. An ancient, unknown monitoring system observed the entire crisis, the Council's gambit, and humanity's terrifyingly efficient response. This array processes all the data and logs a simple, profound new entry in its archives. Humanity